Welcome back to the concession stand, my fellow Gacha addicts. Zenless Zone 0 second closed beta is 1 week away, and I just want to go over just some thoughts that I wrote down for what Hoyoverse could potentially implement into the game and just make this just take off way more than what it possibly initially could, and just to avoid some shortcomings that some of the other Hoyo titles have faced. I'm gonna start off with one thing, is ease of entry. It's like, I know development wise it's getting a little bit tougher for ease of entry because from HI3 to Genshin to Star Rail and now ZZZ, the graphics have just improved across each title, and the spec requirements to play each game has obviously required along with that, and the sizing and the size of the games too. They did list the minimum and recommended requirements. So far it's actually looking in a good spot, because the minimum that they were requiring in terms of a phone would be an iPhone XS, and then the recommended was an 11 Pro. So if you have a mid-range phone in current today's time, something that's like $400 to $500, you'll be able to play it fine with low settings if you're on mobile. And then another thing I want to add, hopefully PlayStation 5 release with PC and mobile. Number 2, combat uniqueness. We've already seen that it's taken a couple elements from HI3, well, mainly just dodging. It has better fluidity than Genshin, but not by much. What I'm hoping is it's like it keeps those small elements of HI3 to where you gotta be on your stuff when it comes to mechanics, and just not get to some goofy things that can happen with Genshin to where it can basically just be a spam fest. The third thing is story freedom. With this setting, they have so much more that they can do. With one specific thing, dialogue, they have more freedom to be a little bit more vulgar, and we've seen a little bit of that with the 23 minutes of gameplay that they showed us, which obviously included the starting story. There was a guy on the news, and obviously they had to censor some of his words because they can't be hearing curse words on a news channel. But just hopefully that energy, that the story that they showed in that demo, and just sticks throughout, especially with the character interactions. And keep this story fast paced, because even though there's lore, it's like how this game is set feels like it should be more of a faster paced story compared to its 3 predecessors. And then number 4, which there's not much I can say on this, is exploration. We kind of know how it's gonna work already, since we already play Star Rail. That's basically your answer to how it works. Only one thing that I hope they can add is just more NPC uniqueness, which they could pretty much easily do by just adding more voice lines instead of just turning it into a playable light novel reading a bunch of text. Alright, then number 5. I don't even gotta talk about this, my music. Look. Hoyo Mix has already been cooking. They're going to keep cooking. We know they're gonna keep cooking, and it's just been like that and will keep being like that. And I do not have to even specify any further. Because Hoyo Mix are the goats, and I'm gonna clap it up for them. They have been doing amazing. Keep it up. Alright then, now we get into the tough portion. These are the things that have brought the other games down. Number 6 is a better equipment system than Genshin and Star Rail, because artifacts and relics are just way too RNG reliant. Even if we know Star Rail has consistently just been showing efforts to just offer up more self-molding resins to just increase our chances a little bit of getting usable pieces. It's just the constant struggle of going into a cavern of corrosions or a domain and just consistently get main stats that we don't need but good substats, and then the proper main stat but absolutely abysmal substats that just will make the character just function bad. We are tired of it. And not only that, just the process of beating pieces to try to create a new piece and then the same thing happening over again. It's way too RNG reliant, especially when you're rolling the pieces, even more so. We just need a different system entirely. That's just way less RNG reliant. Even if they have to make it a little bit more grindy. And then another big thing we're gonna go over, number 7, endgame. This isn't something we have to worry as much about, but definitely still worry about. Because Genshin, we wanted endgame, but didn't get it. They're just gonna stick towards story, and we're just gonna have to roll with it. Honkai's endgame is like, it's on a spectrum. Like, if you're just getting into endgame, it's not gonna be hard. But if you want to make it hard and push towards the higher ends of like Red Lotus and Nirvana tier, and not have to deal with and not just stick in agony for the easy rewards, then it's gonna get difficult to go up against all those other people to get like top leaderboard spots. Because hopefully ZZZ just offers a little bit more of a consistent spectrum, even though I feel like it's probably going to be around Star Rail's difficulty. Whether they make it a smidge bit easier, a smidge bit harder, that's for the future to tell. Hopefully, I'm just hoping for something a little bit more, slight bit more harder, because of the mechanical aspect. And then number 8, the summoning system. Oh man, 0.6 is an absolutely horrible rate for a gacha to have. A gacha having anything lower than 1% is just intolerable, because some people just pay past the problem and not deal with it, but for the people that can't pay past the problem, it's just a struggle, and a lot of them end up turning to leaks. They shouldn't have to worry about who to summon for. It's like, that's one of the big reasons why people go to gacha games. They like the characters and they want to pull and use the characters. We just need a different system that has at least a 1% rate and no more 50-50s. Please at least make it at minimum a 60-40. It's like, more people are realistically going to stay. A person will have to spend less to max out a character. More people are going to be a little more inclined to spend if it's cheaper than what Genshin and Star Rail are. And then the 10th thing, 9th thing I want to go over, since now we're done with the heavy things. It's just character design philosophy. We need more character sizing models. We need them to be unironically more realistic, because you can't just limit yourself to 3 body types per gender. That's just not going to cut it. It's like, you already have a bear as a playable character, which means we just want to keep that energy up. Like, we want to play as big, muscular men and women. We just want everything in between, to like them looking like they could be a freaking strongman contender, and even just the little midgets that are goofing around. And it just helps not only with just overall design diversity, but even gameplay strategy, because it's going to affect the hitboxes. And that's something that some people haven't really thought about specifically, but it's something that is going to be good gameplay wise. And then the 10th thing is dev player connections. Yeah, this is editing Sugarry. Yeah, this felt a little bit more of a Genshin hate rant than actual constructive criticism, so all I'll say here is that we don't want a repeat of that, and if they give us the levels that Star Rail is currently getting with their dev connections, then we will be perfectly fine. Now moving on. And then finish it off with something a little more simple that doesn't have to relate with playing the game at all, is offering more things outside of the game. We just want a better merch approach, because we can't just have 99% of the merch be acrylic stands and keychains and stickers, and then the occasional figure release. No, we need more expensive items, unironically, because people are willing to support the game that much and spend hundreds of dollars on a figure or apparel of their characters, like a Billy mask. That would be cool. Please release a Billy mask. I will buy it. That is a guarantee. Not only that, posters too. Just with the aesthetic of this game, the posters would go crazy. And with that, that is all I have to say. Editing this is still gonna be a pain, but as always, remember to hit that subscribe button to boost your rates by 5% if the gachas aren't treating you too well. Hit the noties and check out my socials for whenever I'm gonna be uploading again, and I'll just catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.